What's up, y'all? It's TruthTiger, and today I'm going to talk about how our families did not care about us. We grew up in these families. They were the people we were around. They were the houses we grew up in, but the love and care that we needed, they did not provide for us. They just treated us like another animal on the farm, and our needs, our struggles, our triumphs, whatever, they really could give a crap about us one way or the other. And the thing is, man, these families we came from, at least mine, so narcissistic, so manipulative. There was, a lot of stuff in my childhood was really not good. There was not a lot of care given. There was a lot of weird crap I had to put up with, and I just was not in a good state in my childhood at all. And then going on to adulthood, there were two separate weird incidences that I had with two separate family members. And I don't want to get into the specifics. It's very personal. But the first one, they believed me on it, but they just really did not care, despite the fact that it was clearly something that was disturbing. I brought it up. They didn't care. They're like, oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah, of course that happened. They're weird. Whatever. You want to hang out next weekend? Want to have a little get-together at the house? And that was basically their response, was just kind of move on, whatever. Let's all still hang out together. Who cares? And it's like... And I was not a kid, but I was, I think, 18 when that happened. I was still pretty young, trying to figure stuff out. So I was like, okay, whatever. All right, I guess. And then when I was confronting the person about it, I was like, what the hell's going on? They're like, why are you so angry? You're getting so mad. You're getting so upset. And that's what these narcissists will do. They'll do these crazy, horrible things to you, these things that are way over the line, creepy, strange, manipulative. And then when you get mad, they make it out like you're so mad and you're so emotional, and why are you mad at me? Why are you yelling? Why are you upset? How dare you be upset about it? You don't deserve to be upset. You don't get to be upset. How dare you, And that was the response I got. A couple of years later, I have to deal with another weird, creepy incident from someone else. And this other person essentially says that I imagined the stuff. I hallucinated it. I made it up. And mind you, this person had consumed a lot of alcohol that night. I had not. And they completely denied it and tried to insinuate that I was crazy and, made themselves into the 100% victim and I'm 100% the bad guy, and, tried to get my whole other family members to not believe me. And the whole time with this thing is like, I want to protect the family. I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble. I'm not trying to get anyone arrested. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's reputation or anything like that. This was a personal thing that I had between me and them, I don't even tell anybody else about it, but they just flipped it totally around, made me the bad guy, and made it like, they really manipulated me to the point to where I'm trying to send emails and calls and be like, hey, I'm sorry about that. Let's try to be cool with each other. But a part of me was like, no. A part of me was like, this is ridiculous. And all the other family members just enabled it and sat to the side and were like, oh, I don't want to get in the middle of that one. And I don't really know what's going on. I don't really care, and just did absolutely nothing to help me out. Nothing to help me out in those situations. And I blamed myself. I blamed myself because that's what they were conditioning me to do, to blame myself and to take it on myself, and that, if things like this happen, I should just shut up and ignore it and pretend it didn't happen. It's basically what they wanted. And I'm really not cool with that. I'm not okay with that. I have self-respect. I have boundaries, and I'm not cool with weird, strange, creepy behavior. I'm not cool with it or okay with it at all. And in their minds, I should just pretend it didn't happen. That's what I should do in their minds. And I should sweep it under the rug, act like it never happened. And yeah, and the thing is, when you grow up in this, you think it's normal. You think that's regular behavior because they're all doing it as a group around you. They all do it as a group around you, and they make it seem normal. They make it seem okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay at all. At all, at all. And they try to make you into the bad guy, into that you're crazy and you're weird and why do you even care about that? And you're misinterpreting it. That's not what really happened. And it's like, I was there. I know exactly what happened. You know? Come on. Come on. But, man, that is how they are. They don't care about anyone, you know? I was thinking today, like, maybe I could get married. Maybe I could have a kid a few years down the line. You know, that could maybe happen for me. And I'm thinking, like, man, I'd maybe want to bring my, you know, wife and kid around the family. You know, if that happens for me in the next couple years, I'm thinking about my life. And I'm like, I'm not married or I don't have anybody right now. But I was just kind of thinking ahead like that. And I'm like, man, like, I wouldn't want to bring a future family that I may have around the family I grew up in. I just don't want them to be exposed to that, number one. And number two, it's like, I don't want to just, I don't know, I don't want to just to be like, oh, everything's all cool now, you know? Because the thing is like, they did so much weird stuff to me, made so many bad decisions, did creepy stuff, strange stuff. There was so much stuff that was not cool, not good, not okay. And there is zero accountability, zero apology, and zero acknowledgement. They just want to pretend like everything was great, and then nothing bad happened, and no mistakes were made, and no intentional bad decisions happened, and there was no neglect, no weird stuff, no weird vibes. Everything was normal. They want me to pretend that, and I can't pretend that. And that's part of the conditions for me to be around my family, is just to pretend like everything's fine. Pretend like nothing bad happened, pretend like it's all okay, and to not even acknowledge that stuff. It would be one thing if I received apologies. It would be one thing if they actually want to talk this stuff out in a real way, but they don't. They really don't, you know? And all the struggles I was going through, all the time I was struggling, they didn't care whatsoever at all, you know? And I'm really thinking about this today, like, they really could give a crap about me. So why should I care so much about them? And why should I play Twister and do the hokey pokey and stand on my head to try to keep up this relationship with them? Why? There is no benefit to me. I'm just going to have to twist up reality in a way that's harmful to me so that they can cover up their past mistakes and their past intentional weird stuff. Why would I do that? Why should I do that to myself? And why should I distort the truth and reality itself? And the whole thing is they're manipulating a sense of obligation. We come from a family, we're born into a family, there is a built-in sense of obligation, there is a built-in sense of family nostalgia. Oh, remember that time, a built-in, you know, rose-colored glasses, we're such a happy family, that's all built in, and they want to manipulate that because they never thought I would walk away, they never thought I would say, no, I'm done. And it just like, I step away and I get clarity and I'm like, holy crap, like this behavior that they do, it's so not okay. And the whole time I wanted to protect them. I wanted to call it out and I wanted to set a boundary and I wanted to say no. And quite frankly, with a lot of this stuff, I had more anger than I did back then than I do now. And I was in the middle of it and I didn't know what was going on. So my response was more just to be like, to yell and to cuss and to be like, what the hell's this? And, you know, and I don't want to react to stuff like that now. But even then, it's just like, dude, like there's no sense of like, hey, like we should show this guy more respect. We should be cooler. We should conduct ourselves better. This is some really weird, not okay behavior. No, not at all. With them, it's just like, no, let's just deflect. You know, and I think some of them are so deluded and are so delusional that they actually will tell a lie to themselves and they'll actually like believe it 100%. They'll tell themselves some lie about reality, about what really happened and what's really going on, and they will convince themselves that it's true. And it's really sick. It's really disturbing. And the thing is, they have so much like confidence and strength in their manipulation because everyone around them is doing it. And me coming in trying to tell the truth, it's like they twist it up to where it's like the lie is the truth and the truth is a lie. And if you come with the truth, it's like, what are you even coming in with, you know? And it's just like, oh my gosh, like the manipulation and the mind games, the more time I spend away from it, it's really crazy. It really is. And even the members of my family who didn't really necessarily go out of the way to do this stuff, the ones that didn't do this stuff, they were there enabling. They were there being bystanders. They were there not looking out for me, believing what these other people say, or in some cases, believing me, but just not even caring. You know, in some cases, they'd believe what I said, but they would just be like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Oh, that's weird, huh? Isn't that weird? Oh, yeah, well, whatever, you know? Or they would just be like, well, so-and-so said this, and I'm going to take their word for it. And it's like, all right. And the whole time I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be diplomatic. I'm trying to, you know, patch up the boat. But it's like, hey, y'all put the hole in the boat in the first place. And now you're going to blame it on me, and I have to be the one to patch it up. It's like they're going to do something wrong to you, and I got to apologize for it. I got to apologize that I got mad about it. I got to apologize that I was upset. I got to apologize that I didn't like it. I got to apologize that I called them out. I got to apologize that I lost my temper with insane behavior. I got to be the one apologizing. And it's just like, oh my God. Oh my effing God. It's just, they want to just destroy your freaking soul. They do. They want to just freaking destroy your soul, destroy you mentally and emotionally. And it's just like, I don't know whether to scream at the camera right now or just like burst out crying. I want to like do both. And I'm exaggerating a bit, you know, but those emotions are there right now. I feel a lot of anger. I feel a combination of anger and sadness when I make this video. I feel a strong combination of both of those emotions where I'm just like, I feel so sad that I was not respected. I feel so sad that I felt like I had to apologize for things that I did not even do. And I had to apologize for standing up for myself. And I had to apologize for calling out weirdos on weird behavior. And I have to apologize for the fact that I'm going to call out my parents for being irresponsible with my childhood. I have to be the one apologizing. You know, and it's like they're the ones who should be apologizing. So I feel really sad that I was just in that position. And then I feel really angry that they would twist stuff up, that they would manipulate, not take any accountability, that they would cross lines that they should not cross, that they would make really irresponsible decisions and act like it was all great. And it's just like, you know, with these freaking narcissistic families we come from, it's like they give you this big shit sandwich and they want you to eat it like it's a freaking pastrami on rye. And it's like, no. That is a piece of poop between bread. I'm not going to eat it and enjoy it and act like it's good. And then when you don't eat it and enjoy it, they get mad. You don't like it. You don't think it tastes good. You're too good for that. You don't want it. You know, they get mad at you and they're all like, hey, what's wrong with you? You don't want to eat the shit sandwich. And it's you know, and they make this whole thing against you and make you into this bad guy. And it's like, you know, and the truth is, before I cut my family out, before I went no contact, they had already alienated me. They had already alienated me with this stuff. They'd already alienated me by not having my back in these situations, by not believing me, or in some cases believing me, but not caring at all, you know? And it's just like, man, just being around them was so bad for me. It really was terrible for me. And, you know, when I think about my family, it's like, they were never even really like a family to me. It's just kind of these people who I happen to be related to and happen to grow up in a house with. I feel very little familial bonds or familial connections. And the reason why is because there was not a lot of love in that house. There wasn't. And the thing is like, my story's bad, but a lot of people have had a lot worse stuff happen to them. A lot of people have came from a lot worse families. And in the aggregate of the world, it's just your average person comes from this weird, messed up, apathetic, uncaring family. And there's just weird crap going on in the background. And it's just like, you know, at some point, you're going to really look at that and be like, oh, my family, my mom, my dad, my parents, my siblings. It's like, at some point, it's like, that runs out. That nostalgia, that built-in programmed genetic thing where you're like, these people are genetically related to me. At some point, that runs out of runway, and you're like, man, I really cannot be around these people, because they want you to doubt your own reality. Like in one of these instances, they literally wanted me to think that I was crazy. Literally. They literally wanted me to think that I had hallucinated something. Not all of them, but one of them. And the rest of them, they were willing to enable it. They're willing to go along with it, And it's just like, holy crap. And I remember with one of these people, they decided to stop talking to me because I called them out on some creepy crap they were doing. And they made, me into the bad guy and them into the victim and all this crap. And I'm trying to send them emails to get back in touch with me. And, I'm feeling all bad. Like, I broke the family apart. I have to fix the family, because I was not seeing the daylight and they were manipulating me. And I was feeling guilty about stuff I should not have been feeling guilty about. And I just remember this person's just being so like anything where I would say, hey, like, I can apologize to you if you can apologize to me. I'll apologize about getting mad about something if you can apologize for what you did. And then they're like, never contact me again. And at the time I was very hurt, but now I realize it's like, all right, she did me a favor. I was probably going to go no contact with you in a year or two anyways, when I really, figured out the daylight of the situation. So I'm like, whatever. And I realized it's time for me to stop feeling bad about it. Stop feeling bad about the whole situation. Stop feeling like I broke up the family. Like, their own behavior broke up the family. The fact that they wanted to scapegoat me and act specifically even more weird to me than everybody else. They were weird to each other too, but the fact that they had an extra brand of weirdness to push onto me and creepiness to push onto me and manipulation to push onto me, it's like they broke the family up with their own actions. They just thought I'd sit there and take it. They thought I'd sit there and cover for them. They thought that I would want to protect the family so much that just I would tolerate any shitty behavior toward me. And I got to the point where I'm just like, no. Screw these freaking people. Really. I mean, screw them all, to be honest. Like, I really don't have any love left for them. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm not saying I really wish bad things on them, but, the more I think about it, the worse it is. And the more I think about it from perspective of, like, I'm a person. I'm a person with agency that has a right to boundaries, that has a right to live my own life. The more I think about it from that, and I'm not just there to, like, prop them up and make them happy. And the thing is, it's like, I was like putting their own happiness, and I was putting everybody before me, really, I was. And I'm like, I'm going to protect them. And I'm like, what about protecting myself, And once I realized I got to protect myself, it's like their hooks were too deep into me, where I'm just like, all right, I just got to get rid of these people. It's gotten too far. It's gone too bad. Now I've woken up to it, and I got to get rid of them, And I talked to a family member on the phone a couple months ago, and, this isn't someone that's really that bad, more of just an enabler, but even that was like, I wanted that phone call to be over as fast as possible, It was not a comfortable phone call. It's, I just know things are not good. And there are some family members that want me to come maybe visit them or whatever. And I mean, I honestly just do not want to be around them. I don't want to be around any of them. And a lot of them, if you first met them, you'd think they were normal people. But if you really see how they conduct themselves and what they will enable and what they will put up with and how they treat others, and, you just realize, like, this is a bad sitch. This is not a good sitch to be around. It was a very bad situation for me. And any kind of boundaries I wanted to set, or calling people out, or saying no, or being like, I don't like this situation. I don't like what's going on. I don't like how I'm being treated. I don't like anything like that. It's like, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, and they're the victim, even though it's the other way around. And it's just like, I cannot and I will not deal with these people, and a lot of them are going to hold on to these delusions until the day they die, and I won't be at that funeral. You know, I know that's a brutal thing to say, a mean thing to say. It might sound mean, but it's like, man, there were moments where they really could have helped me, could have had my back, could have worked with me, could have addressed certain big issues and actually talked through big issues and dealt with big issues, and they never wanted to. They wanted to avoid it, gaslight me, make me into the bad guy, make me into the villain, when really they were the villains the whole time. And it's just, there is nothing there for me with those people at all, you know. And I don't miss them, you know. I miss the dogs we had when we were kids, but I don't miss any of my family members. As rough as that sounds, it's the reality of the situation, and it says a lot about them and a lot about what they put into me and invested in me, which was nothing. And it says a lot about what they stole from me, which was a lot. They stole a lot of my innocence. They stole my potential. They stole my time. They stole my life. And the truth is, had I not woken up, I'm 32 now, I'd still be involved in that, flying out somewhere to see them, driving out somewhere, this and that. And I'm so glad that I don't need to be in that family freaking prison anymore. You know, I'm so done with those people. I'm so done with all of them. And yeah, this ends this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. Much love. God bless. And I just want to say, you don't have an obligation to your crazy family. You have an obligation to God, to yourself, but you don't have an obligation to those crazy, manipulative weirdos. And they want to manipulate the family ties. They want to manipulate the familial bond. They will manipulate that and use that at every turn. And, you know, because you're a family and you're close to them, they think they can be especially weird and crappy and creepy to you because you're family and you won't leave. So don't let them get away with it. Don't let them wreck your life. Don't let them steal your life. Don't let them steal your peace, your sanity, because when you're in a situation where up is down and a lie is the truth and the truth is a lie and evil is good and good is evil and people are just manipulating and making up stories and demanding that you conform to it, you know, you're going to lose something mentally, emotionally, or physically being around that. So get out, leave, and I would say don't come back. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. Thank you so much. Much love. God bless. I will see you all next time.